solution in the cloud. It is what we call the Arcserve Business Continuity Cloud. So today, everything will be related to the cloud solution. So we can start immediately and we can see the agenda for today. We will talk a little bit about Arcserve, who we are, what we are doing, and then we will see what are the new cloud trends and existing solution, what is the market trend to go into the cloud and so on. And of course, our focus for today will be talking about the Arcserve UDP Cloud Hybrid secured by Sophos, our incredible solution to have the second copy to directly in the cloud, replicate everything in the cloud with an additional layer of security that we have with our alliance with Sophos. We will talk about the Office 365, that why you need to protect your data, and our solution to have it perfectly protected so that you can perform some kind of cloud backup, cloud to cloud from Microsoft directly to our cloud, and again with the extra layer protection of Sophos. And at the end, we will talk about the Arcserve UDP Cloud Direct, a very interesting solution to go directly to the cloud, to have your recovery point in the cloud from wherever you are in a native solution from the cloud, and where at the very end, Jenny will also talked about the nice promotion and goodwill promotion that we have at the moment, above all to protect workstation, but not only workstation. So Jenny, please, can you introduce us and talk about who we are and about the everything related to cloud?
Yes, sir. Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Andreas and Christoforos for inviting us today. I'm Jenny Banit, sales, inside sales in Arcserve. So as Alice said, I'm going to be doing a little bit of the intro of what we're going to be talking about today, and also explain the promos. So basically, I don't know if you know anything about Arcserve, where we come from. So I will let you know a little bit about it. So Arcserve was created in 1983. That means that we have been in the data protection sector for 37 years. And what does it mean? That means that it makes us the most experienced supplier in the world. Our backup solution and data protection was created in 1988. That was the Arcserve backup, the traditional backup to tape. And since then, we've been evolving and investing in the development of these new solutions, obviously adapting to the new challenges of each era. So the result of this development has culminated in a creation of our kind of start product. It's called UDP, Unified Data Protection. And this solution, we find it almost all in every product of our portfolio. And we call it like the all-in-one solution. Why? Because it guarantees a business continuity in all of the three IT platforms, which are the tape, disk, and cloud. So with the UDP, we are able to provide the maximum flexibility, also simplicity, and a speed of recovery with almost immediate restart. So we currently have 45,000 customers using our products in over 150 countries worldwide, and we have over 7,500 partners who help us to deliver our solutions. So also we have a very strong partnership with the world-leading suppliers and also with other partners with another solutions like Sophos. This is basically a little bit of what we are, where we come from, and where we stand today. As Alice said, we're gonna be talking about our solutions, cloud solutions, but why? And this is why, because most critical assets for companies nowadays is data. So our data has an economical value. We know that data is important, is maybe the most important thing we have in a company, right? So any kind of downtime or having the incorrect protection has an impact. Everything that happens to our data is going to affect our business in a positive way or in a negative way. But if we are having a downtown, then this means that we're going to lose a lot of money, right? So what is valuable is not the system we are using, but our data. So so many companies, maybe your company have experienced downtown. But what does it really mean a downtown? So downtown means that we are losing money. When we experience a downtown, we have our business frozen, the system frozen, our employees are not working, and this can be caused by many things. It can be like for a hardware failure. It can be for a bad data center infrastructure plan or data corruption. Many things, a malicious activity. But if you are lucky enough, the inactivity can be 4 hours. And that means still you are losing money. But if you have a ransomware attack or cyber attack, this can be, your system can be down for days, and means that you can lose thousands of pounds, hundreds of thousands of pounds, right? So that is super important to have the right protection for your data. So what are the trends of the backup methods nowadays? So we all know that there are different backup solutions in the market. Obviously, if you can see this chart, according to the independent global survey, a survey commissioned by Arcserve, we did a survey to around 800 IT decisions maker. And as you can see here, the D to D to C is the most common used methods, with the direct to cloud coming in the second. So D2C, backup directly to cloud, 17%. This survey was done from people from UK, so UK, US, and Germany. They are very significant. And as you can see, disk to cloud is the most common solution, backup method. And obviously, the trend, you can see now that the trend is more common, is the more and more is going towards the cloud solutions. So as you can see in this chart, we're right now living in a world where it's already multi-cloud. So what do we mean by multi-cloud? That companies have their system in the cloud, their services in the cloud, like Office 365, they do the backup cloud. And obviously, we can see that a lot of companies rely on a cloud-based technology to drive growth. This is because this is a trend. We know that it's working. We know that is a solution that is kind of popular right now in the market, and we know that this is the future. So as you can see, the 64% of people or companies believe that. Then, as mentioned, 42% of the organizations already are using multi-cloud solutions, which is a very significant number, taking into consideration that the cloud solutions were born really not long ago. So now it's more than almost 50% of the companies gonna go towards there. And 41% of companies has or have experienced a cost reduction through the cloud computing. What does it mean? That they have the cloud solution adapt more to our needs, meaning that they are very flexible. You don't need to buy a solution of I don't know, 100 terabytes is a packet. So did you buy it for a year? No, you can buy whatever is suited to your needs. And then if you want to adapt it and increase your number of terabytes, increase your data growth, your solution grows. So it's very adaptable, and this is the cause of why there is a reduction on pricing. So to sum up or to summarize, by the 2021, over 50% of global enterprises will be using a cloud solution and will adopt this strategy. And by the 2022, 88% of enterprise IT spending will be shifted to cloud. So just to have an idea of what's going to happen, it's happening quite fast. And then now I'm going to leave Alicia, who's going to start explaining about the technical side of our solutions. Alicia,
Yeah, yeah, thank you very much. So, having in mind everything and all the details that Janie provided us about what is the cloud, what we are protecting, why we need to protect, and all the causes of the downtime. So we have to keep it in mind that, and also we are providing you a solution that we try to solve your needs, because what is the most important? The data. The data, and you do not want to lose any data. So we provide you a complete solution to prevent any data loss. You would like to be sure and trust your solution, and you can trust us. We have over 30 years in the industry about assure reliable data and disaster and recovery. Extended downtime. We have seen with Jenny how many causes could be could have an impact on the business revenue, and how people are scared and are unsure about the solution they are using nowadays, because they need to rely on one solution or multiple solutions. And you do not need just to be sure about recovering your data. You need to be sure about business continuity, to be able to continue your business, to not lose any money. And this is also part of the compliance, because there's a lot of regulation that we need to comply with, just to protect our data, to be sure that we are in the good compliance and regulation. And this is also a cost. The cost of an existing solution can be higher, just because there's a mix and match of tools and software to protect part of your environment. As we had seen in the previous slide, there's a lot of company going to the cloud, seeing the cloud as a perfect solution for flexibility, for cost reduction, and for improving and have a real growth on their market. And everything that is in the cloud is not automatically protected. It's just the service, but everything is related to the data you need to protect. And what we are doing is to reduce the IT management, providing you a unique solution, and this is also reducing the IT cost of the entire protection, because we are the only supplier that can provide you all the layer that you need to protect all your data. In this slide, what I would like to show you is a little bit what are all the question marks that you have. Normally, when we think about creating an offsite backup, to create a DR plan, so you need to think about having it, have everything documented, to have SLA for critical system, what you need, how many hours, what is the RTO, RPO that you need to be back operative if something is happening to your production server. So where are your data in case of a disaster, and how fast you can recover from a disaster? How old, how are the data can be, and what are your constraints also to be compliant with some regulation, for example, and how many copy you need to keep. You need to keep in mind that something can change between a DR plan or just a backup solution, because for DR, for example, you don't need to have all the last month's data. You not just need your latest recovery point, and to be sure that this latest recovery point, you can spin off a system, for example, from this recovery point, so that you need to think about how much storage you would like to have, how much computing you need to allocate again for the disaster and recovery part. What we talked today is about the Arcserve Cloud, a complete solution for data protection, cloud-based, and where we can help you in solving with a unique solution all your challenges that you may have to protect your data and to have a plan of disaster and recovery. This is our business continuity cloud. We have different products, and we will focus today on the cloud hybrid and the cloud direct. For the cloud hybrid, what we have is a complete solution that is mainly for UDP user that can have this copy and replication to the Arcserve cloud, where you can have an extra copy of your backup as a replica that is performed inside a plan of UDP, and this is because we have our solution UDP, Unified Data Protection, that has a very powerful way to provide a complete strategy to protect your system, not only via a backup, but above all via a disaster and recovery, creating new disk in standby, giving you the possibility to spin up system from a recovery point. This is for data as well as for disaster and recovery, so that you can have BaaS. So what we call BaaS is the backup as a service, and you can have DRaaS. So it is disaster and recovery as a service with near instance recovery, and everything is designed for UDP user with global deduplication, plans configuration, and so on. Additionally to that, we have a complete protection for Office 365, for Exchange Online, OneDrive, and SharePoint. And we will see in details also the solution about Office 365, even because you can have it in two flavors. One will be to have the complete control of your data, so you can repatriate your Office 365 locally with the UDP solution, or we can also have, and we will see later, the cloud backup solution, so a cloud-to-cloud solution protected by Sophos. The other part is about the cloud direct, where you have no on-prem hardware. This is the very big differentiator for any other kind of software. This is a cloud native tool. It is very light agent that you can install over your systems and is backing up data directly to the cloud. This is that has like the software and the agent and all the technology is already included, and you are just paying for the the terabyte in the cloud. You have a real multi-tenancy console, cloud-based, where you can set multiple customer, for example, for reseller, as well as if you have big site, you can configure each site as a specific customer just to provide the multi-tenancy view. And this is designed for everyone because you don't need to have any other tool on site. It is just installing the agent and backing up data to the cloud. The email archiving, as you can see, this is our product, and we can see here more in details what is all our portfolio and how every product that we have can work in the cloud as well. So we have the UDP software and the which is the unified data protection that you can deploy in the have integrated into the cloud hybrid. You can also deploy into Amazon or Azure or whatever is on-prem, and you can protect everything related to system in Amazon as well as Azure, Office 365, physical and virtual. UDP appliance is our all-in-one solution so that you can protect, again, thanks to the UDP software, everything related to your on-prem environment, as well everything that you already have in the cloud and the Office 365. And you can consider even the UDP appliance that it was the subject of our last webinar as a private cloud, so that you can also use the appliance to spin up your system locally. But we are focusing on a real cloud, right? And we have our solution for cloud hybrid, so that you can replicate the cloud direct for everything related to going directly to the cloud, email archiving. This is a solution that you can have on-prem as well in the cloud. Can be a managed solution by us, or this is something that you can manage. It is mainly for compliancy to regulation. It is just for email, for Office 365, G Suite, Exchange, Zimbra, and much more, and is really to have an archiving solution for everything related to your email systems. And then we have EveryTrade. The old EveryTrade, it is now continuous availability for continuous and for the high availability, and the Arcserve backup, our very first solution that we are still using above all, because many of our customers are still using tape to make the export to tape. And now, as today we are focusing on cloud, I would like here to highlight the Arcserve cloud that is powered by a network of very reliable data center located all across the globe. One of the most important part is about the data security. Of course, everything is encrypted. It is encrypted in flight, and then is encrypted at rest. That is very important. You have a role-based access control, and again, in the console, for example, if we think about the multi-tenancy console for the Cloud Direct, we have every user has a specific role with a specific access as well. Resiliency, we have, and we are still improving. So we have that 49% data center uptime, and we are always improving our uptime. Our support is working 24/7 every day of the week, of the year, and we are taking care of everything in our data center. We have our data center that, as you can see, are in UK, US. But for the cloud hybrid solution, we also introduced this month the complete managed service inside the AWS data centers. Physical security, this is something very important, as well as all the certification that we passed for our data center, of course. We are now talking about and detailing our solution. This is the Arcserve Cloud Hybrid Secure by Sophos. We start with talking to you with the 3-2-1 backup rule. So this is the rule of the backup, right? Everyone in the backup and protection market, in the admin IT sector, knows this rule. This is something that you need to keep in mind always. So you need to keep in mind that you have to have 3 copies, at least one from production, another, for example, in for a backup and secondary backup, and 2 storage type to be sure to have the different storage media, and of course the one is the offsite. 1 copy should be offsite, and this is something that you can have easily with the cloud hybrid offer, where we where you have we manage everything, and you have your instance in the cloud where you can send your copy to the cloud and create your air gap copy. Now, what is exactly? This is what you see in a diagram, in a structure that can be familiar to you. So this is a real environment where you can see that you have the free copies of your data, and then you have the two backup that you can see you have at least one primary backup, and then you can replicate, like in this case, two appliances secured by Sophos, where you have a second repository for your backup copies, and of course the one, so that you have your third copy on a separate median location. And the cloud is the ideal solution, because what you have is a complete solution from your data on-prem to the cloud. It is very easy to configure, and everything is protected against losing data, but also against ransomware, thanks to our alliance with the Sophos. And this is the Arcserve UDP, Unified Data Protection. This is what we are protecting. We are protecting everything. We can protect it to heterogeneous environment. So whatever you have on-prem as Windows and Linux system, whatever you have in virtualized environment, because we have deep integration for VMware, Hyper-V, and Nutanix. Of course, we can have granular restore as well for and BMR for physical system, granular restore for Exchange or SQL or whatever you have still for Oracle database or Active Directory, and we can protect all your workloads that you have in the cloud. That could be a system, or it can even be the Office 365, and we will focus as well on that part later in the presentation. And everything is a ransomware-free IT, because with the Sophos integration that we have in our appliances as well in our cloud, we have the full protection done by Sophos. So what is exactly this cloud hybrid solution that we are proposing to you? Is a fully integrated cloud backup. It is against every cyber attacks. It is also a disaster and recovery part that you can have in the cloud, because it is a fully managed offer that in our cloud that we are offering to you. It is the possibility to have a failover and fallback for disaster and recovery strategy, to have your DR site in our cloud, and you can always restore, work on your systems, and have the data and the workloads always protected by the cybersecurity technology from Sophos. And it's very, very simple to configure. It is just one console. It is just a cost-effective subscription-based licensing, and this is also very easy. What is the Interceptics? Maybe many of you are probably already using the Sophos technology, but for us it's very important to highlight that you are fully protected against every kind of ransomware, thanks to the Interceptics of Sophos that has the CryptoGuard file protection. And the CryptoGuard takes just in time copy of your files when it detects that there is a malicious inscription on file. So Interceptics is isolating the malicious process before automatically rolling back the files over an unencrypted state. So the CryptoGuard was incredibly effective, for example, against the WannaCry attack. And to protect the other part of your hard disk, Sophos have integrated the WipeGuard. That is a protection of a section of your hard disk, that section that contains the system information and the boots up of your machine. So what is doing the WipeGuard is preventing any malicious tampering of the system areas of your disk by stopping all those malicious process. So whenever there is an attack like the NotPetya attack that is preventing to boot your system, the WipeGuard is protecting you. So with the interceptics, your entire disk is protected. And again, with Sophos and with why Sophos is because they are the best in class for the security. Again, they also have more than 30 years in the industry, and we think that both together, Arcserve and Sophos, we can be the best solution for our customer, not only to protect data, but is the first and last line of defense, because you have the protection for everything against all the malware, the virus, and so on. You have a visibility to what software is protecting, and everything you see is completely under the protection of the interceptics, and you have the control because the configuration is very easy. Everything is managed by Arcserve, and you have a fully managed service for your protection of the data. The key feature about the Cloud Hybrid Secure by Sophos, of course, backup as a service and disaster and recovery as a service. This is part of what we are providing to have your backup in the cloud, to recover to the cloud as well, and you have the disaster and recovery part that can be done, for example, with the virtual standby. That is an amazing technology that we have integrated into the UDP software that can create some standby disk that then you can spin up when you need. Cybersecurity, everything is protected, as we have seen, thanks to the Surface part that we have integrated, and the management is again one unique console, very easy to configure everything and to plan a real strategy, not only for your backups, but also for your disaster and recovery strategy. Now, what I would like to highlight is all the region that we are covering. In Violet, you see that we have our data center in US, and then we are also expanding our footprint all around Europe. Well, we have also other region in US and APAC and Canada, but as we talked about Europe, as you can see here, more highlighted all the region that we have, thanks to what we are our partnership with Amazon as well. And this is something very important because it is a fully managed service by Arcserve, and there's no surprise on the bill, because it is true that the cloud is very flexible, but sometimes you have some surprise in the bill, because you need to take into account some egress, some extra storage, or you are not really well configure your cloud, and you will pay for it, rather than with Arcserve, everything is in very simple license based. You pay for it and you have everything included. Now we will focus a little bit more on what is the backup for Office 365, and our solution, again, secured by Sophos, to have a cloud backup. So the uncomfortable truth about the Office 365 protection is that actually there's as a minimum, 3 reasons to protect your data in Office 365. Firstly, is for the security. So you need to protect your data against any malware or hackers that could have any malicious intent to your data in the Office 365, any kind of human error, data loss that can be caused by human error, that can be something by chance or not, that a former employee or an employee is doing because have access to the data in the Office 365, and also because of the shared responsibility model of Microsoft. We can see it a little bit more deep in this slide, how the responsibility of the data inside the Office 365 is for the customer. So this is, I would say, the first reason why we should protect the Office 365. Even to comply with the 3-2-1 rule of backups, so that we have multiple copies of the data, because in the service agreement of Office 365 with Microsoft, whenever you are subscribing to this service, they are stating that they keep the service up and running. Maybe there will be some online service that can suffer of occasional disruption and outages, but Microsoft is not liable for any disruption or loss of any data because you are not protecting the data. And Office 365 is still part of your environment, even if it's a service in the cloud, and you need to take care of your data, and data in the cloud is still your responsibility. So you will see, if you look at what is included in the Office 365 contracts and subscription that you have, that the backups are not included. The references to data protection feature are more about everything related to loss prevention. Those have nothing to do with recovering from corrupting or lost data. The SLA for Microsoft is more about availability, not recoverability. And often recycle bin is used to recover data, and that could be fine up to a certain level, but what if a malicious person has the credential and have the right to remove emails, to remove data from the recycle bin, or if you do not have the time to recover from the recycle bin because you have up to 93 days before the data gets purged. So our product is to ensure that your Microsoft Office 365 data is protected. We have this solution that is a cloud-to-cloud backup, and we have the additional layer always in the cloud to have the full protection, also with Sophos included. So you have a total protection about Exchange Online, OneDrive for Business, and SharePoint Online. The restore is very easy to put in place, and again you have one console. It is very flexible, and it is very easy to configure, and the licensing is also straightforward. The key feature for it is, of course, the backup, so that you have your additional copy in another location, so that you can maintain also multiple copies of your Office 365 data. The restore, so you have a full solution where you don't have to search and look for something in the recycle bin. Is a proper protection that you have put in place for your data, and you have the full recoverability within the restore, even with granular recovery, cybersecurity. That is something included with the surface protection and the management. There is a with the unified protection. So this is a very straightforward diagram from the cloud to the cloud, and the cloud could be our cloud or the Amazon one in the region, as you may choose the region that you would like to have your data backup to. Use cases, very briefly, just to have a clear usage of what you can do with our UDP Cloud Hybrid. This solution provides a secure offsite backup. And additionally, you can have a DR option for all the Unified Data Protection UDP software, which avoids the cost of a secondary data center for DR and an offsite retention. So what you can have to do is just to configure your on-prem RPS, that is our core of UDP solution, to replicate backup data to this remote RPS, your instance in the cloud that is fully managed by us. And you may have a long-term cloud backup as an alternative to a local disk or a tape, and it leverage UDP global source-side deduplication and one optimized replication, so that everything is very, very efficient in terms of storage, WAN bandwidth, and so on. And if something goes wrong, if you have your DRaaS add-on in our cloud, so you can recover critical system in the cloud and have an immediate restart for those systems. Another use case that we often offer to our customer is a cross-replication between sites and the cloud, so that you can have or the UDP or the appliances replicating between them. You can protect also the Office 365 on-prem, so that you can repatriate and have the full control of your data of the cloud from Office 365 into your integrated solution. Again, everything with big deduplication, and then replicating for the third copy into the Arcserve cloud. Or if you think something more efficient and have also the Office 365 and the part of the cloud part going to the cloud hybrid, and then you have the replication from whatever is still physical or virtual, of course, but on-prem. Latest solution we are talking about today, it is the native cloud solution, the Cloud Direct. We have this solution that is backing up data directly to the cloud. You can browse your data even in the cloud directly from the recovery point, and is supporting all kind of physical system from Windows to Linux to Mac, and virtual machine with the virtual appliance for the VMware, or detecting that is an Hyper-V and protecting all the system inside the Hyper-V. We have an add-on as well for the Cloud Direct for the disaster recovery. This is very straightforward because you don't need extra storage for the disaster recovery. You just have to buy cloud computing, and you can spin up system in the cloud from whatever recovery point you have in the cloud. And this is mainly for virtual machine and physical Windows server, because of course to spin up system in the cloud, you need to have a bootable partition, and you can recover virtual instances in the cloud as well, perform the failover and the failback from virtual instance from the cloud to back to the on-prem when the crisis is solved on premises. What you can protect is in terms of data, you can protect every kind of server. You can have also workstation physical and virtual system for Windows, Linux, Mac. You can also protect just file and folder, the specific task just for protecting files or folders, so that you can select, and the SQL. And then you configure what you have, because you are buying some storage in the cloud, and what you have in the cloud is then divided per volume. Each volume is a specific retention, and this retention is, for example, the dailies or the weeklies or the yearlies or the forever that you want to keep in the cloud. This is the multi-tenancy console, so that you have truly a multi-tenancy console where you can see all your customer at a glance. You can add, and we are offering also a white label service, so that you can have and you can configure it directly in the cloud from the cloud console to have your service name, your logo, and we can work with you to have your proper URL, so that is totally white label service for you. The dashboard, this is just a snapshot of a screenshot of what you have in the cloud. As you can see, is natively cloud, very light experience to see on the customer, if you're using, for example, the multi-tenancy, about all the job in progress, all the volume that you are using, and all the storage that you have in the cloud. And this is more or less the diagram to describe what is exactly the cloud array disaster and recovery part. So you install the Cloud Direct, for example, on a local server, if we are talking about physical server, and then you have the backup, you are backing up the data to the cloud. And this is, the data is transferred directly over the internet without the need of any other appliance, any other hardware, or any local staging drive. And this is very important. After a full backup, only the changed data will be sent to the cloud with an incremental forever approach at block level. And this is something that is backup as a service, as well disaster and recovery as a service, because as I said, disaster and recovery as a service is just an add-on to have some computing in the cloud. In the Arcserve portal, you have a fully centralized management of your account, where you can see all your system, and you have also the ability to configure and view reports about all the backups, jobs, and errors that you have. Then, about the disaster and recovery part, you just need to choose from a multiple server image recovery points to recover a server in the Arcserve cloud as a virtual machine, and that's it. And the VPN is already included as well, with a point to site or a site to site to securely connect to the recovery environment in your storage account of the Arcserve cloud. The key feature, again, here we are talking about no on-prem hardware, direct to cloud, where you can have multiple tasks, you can back up entire system, you can protect physical and virtual. Of course, it is also about encryption, not only in the data transfer in flight, but also at rest. This is something very important. And the recover. The recover part is important, because what we have is the possibility to browse data in the cloud and to restore back, of course, from the cloud very easily. You can even have a download a single file without installing any agent. It's just downloading a file from your web console. That's it. And the management is multi-tenancy. You have policy and role-based administration and a unique console. So just to have a summary and to recap everything, is what is the Cloud Direct is for everyone that needs to have a flexible system, direct to cloud, without any on-prem hardware, to protect a distributed environment. That could be your remote office, main site, even from home, and it is good for every kind of system, from workstation to server to just folders. So now what I would like is, we are at the end of the technical presentation. Please visit arcserve.com for more information. You have all our details, who we are, what we are doing, and you can see that we also won a cybersecurity award. And this is something that we are very proud of, because we are a company that is focusing for years on protecting data, but not on cybersecurity, but because of the needs, and we're listening to our customer, and because we know that you need more security, and because the ransomware are spreading all around the world. So we have this big alliance with Sophos to protect everything related to the backups and the recovery points with the Sophos. And we have the Continuity Center as well. This is something that is very important for us. And I let Jenny talk about what is our Customer Continuity Center.
Hi, everyone. As Alicia said, we've got our Customer Continuity Center, and basically, as we all have experienced, or we are experienced right now, the COVID-19 crisis has changed the world, as we know. So there have been a lot of changes, and in the way we live, in the way we communicate, and in the way we interact, and this impact of the crisis continues to grow. So in a more like kind of working environment, many companies are now implementing the telework or working from home, while the IT professionals have remained with the challenge of how to deal with these new infrastructures, these new needs that companies require. So in order to kind of help during this period, we have created the Customer Continuity Center. In this Customer Continuity Center, you're going to find all sorts of resources, support, tips on how to face the COVID, tips on how to secure our backups while teleworking, how to protect the backups against malware and ransomware. Or even you can do a free evaluation of your systems and of your company and see if you are fully protected against a ransomware attack, or or not. See the results and see if you have to you need to take action on it. And also, for all the customers that they are right now using one of our appliances, previous series, 8000 series, they have the free link to download Sophos anti-ransomware and install it in their own appliance. This is something for free we are doing also for our customers. And obviously, we cannot forget about helping in another ways. This is sort of tips and stuff, but we also have, we're going to be able to find there in our Continuity Center page links to download free licenses for laptops and points. So these going to have like a 30 days support. And then after the 30 days, if you really need to extend this period, we can extend it for you. And then after the period ends, then you're going to remain with a perpetual license that is going to last forever. So you can protect your own computer, obviously in backups, in external disks, and leave your backup there. But this is a really good tool. Little tool for, like if you really need some sort of support in this respect. And finally, like catching up with the whole presentation, we also have a link to download 120 days of free backups in the cloud. You are going to be using Cloud Direct, the solution that just Alicia explained. You're gonna have 5 terabytes of capacity to space to leave your backups there. And again, by going there, you just download it. It's easy to use. And again, the licensing is very, very easy. In the case of the Arcserve, that one, the backup. This one, you just need to, we license per terabyte. So Cloud Direct, sorry, we license per terabyte, while the Cloud Hybrid licensing is really simple. For the cloud, it's going to be in terabytes, and per Office 365, it's going to be per users. So that is it from my side. Obviously, if you need any requests of any kind, or if you want us to send your links with these licenses, obviously just feel free to ask. We're going to be here to help, as Andreas and as Alice or me. And thank you very much for attending.
Thank you very much, Jenny. Thank you very much, Alice. Let me say just that those promo offers that you mentioned earlier in your presentation are available both on Channel IT and Cysoft websites. And I think they are valid until the 25th of June.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. So if you need more information about those promo offers, let us know or visit our websites. If there are any questions for today's presentations, please you can put your questions on the Q&A session tab on the left of your screen. Let's see if there are any questions. Just wait for a couple of minutes, guys, if it's okay with you. What else I'd like to say? I'd like to add that of course we can arrange a demo with any of you is interested in see something more specific about those products, or anything else we can do on Arcserve products portfolio. Let us know. You can see both Jenny's and Alice's emails on your screen now. You can contact them straight, or you can contact Cysoft and Channel IT as well. So as I see, there are not any questions. So I would like to thank you all for your presence today. I'd like to thank Jenny and Alice for your presentation.
Thank you, Andreas. It was a
Thank you
pleasure.
very much. Yeah, it was a real pleasure, and thank you very much for inviting us.
So thank you, all of you, and have a nice day.
Goodbye.
Have a nice
Bye.
day. Bye.